Guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm doing a review of the Augenblick Tarot. I've done a review of the Augenblick Oracle, which if you check out my deck review playlist, you'll be able to find it in there. And so I have promised that I would do a review of the tarot as well, so I'm very excited to be able to do that. This was created by Shannon Loftus, and I follow her on Instagram. I believe it's at Trees West of Here is her Instagram handle. But let's just dive into this because the Augenblick Tarot is one that has been on my wish list for quite some time. And then it was out of print for a little while. And then she's done a very limited reprint of the tarot and the oracle. So she said this time, once they're gone for good. So it came in this beautiful little stamped Augenblick pouch. Well, actually, it's not a little, it's a rather large pouch, but it can include the book and the cards in it. However, that's not where I keep my cards. I actually keep my cards in this wonderful little pouch that was created for me from one of my friends here on YouTube, and actually keep the Augenblick Oracle in here as well. So that way I have both decks because I believe that they read well together. So I just want to dive into the guidebook first, and as you can see, it is a proper book. These are some of the extra cards that I just kind of keep off to the side, and we'll get to that in a moment. But go ahead and take a look at this. Like, isn't that a proper book? That is fantastic. It has an ISBN number and everything. Okay, so yes, it is in color, which also, you know, is a beautiful attention to detail. I loved reading about her, you know, how she how the Augenblick Tarot came to be. And I always like reading that about creators, you know, and that was something that I had put into my guidebook for my Oracle deck that I created, the Wally's World Healing Journey Through Sacred Sites Oracle. And I feel that people should be able to see and, you know, or at least hear where your journey began, you know, where these cards come from. I think that just adds to, you know, richness of the deck. So she talks about like where did we get the word Augenblick. I knew that, you know, from the very little bit of German that I know, that Augen is eye, or to see, and it says Blick is glance. So she says it means like a quick glance, but it also, I think, could also translate to memory, like a quick memory as well. I think if my German serves me. So she also talks about square cards, you know, and she said basically those were one of the options that her printer had, and she was like, hey, square is pretty awesome. And she talks about, you know, if it could be used as a beginner deck, you know, and she likes to use, she uses deck directions in a very interesting way for her readings, and so she kind of talks about that here, which is excellent. She gives you some samples. And some general spreads that you could use, which I think is excellent. And anytime I get a new deck, I always like to try out the spread, if there is a spread that is attached to the guidebook, you know. And then she talks about the different suits and a little bit about numerology. Then she goes into the card descriptions, which again are in color, which is great. So we start off, of course, first with the Fool. She does give the locations, which I think is great, you know, because I obviously, just looking at the cards, I wouldn't know where they are. And the same could be said for my Oracle deck, because it is photographs of beautiful places and sacred places, actually, from that were submitted from people within our community and from myself, friends and family, and so it's good to kind of have a point of reference of like, where is this place? And so there's journal prompts here, and there's a little bit about the Fool, and if you were reading it reversed. So there's a lot of information, obviously, for each card. So I think that's it. I don't think it ends on anything else here. Yeah, it just goes into acknowledgments. So, all right, let's dive into the cards. So I'm going to move this stuff off to the side here. And I said that there were some extra cards. So let's get into that first. So first we have the title card, which of course I'm not going to include that into my readings. But you know, obviously another beautiful picture. Let me show you the backs of the cards here. It's got a beautiful design and very aged look about it, which I think is cool. Goes along with the what do I want to call that? Photographic development style. You know, how the pictures were developed that give them that particular look. So there was a couple of options for the Temperance card, for the Justice card, and then I believe the Strength card was the same. It was just like two of the same card, but maybe there was a slight difference, but I just wasn't seeing one. And then there was also a couple of cards that didn't have any words on them that I actually added into the deck, and you'll see that when we do our flip through. Okay, so again, let me put these off to the side and let's go into the deck. Right, here we go. So Shannon Loftus says, very rarely are you going to see people in the cards. For the most part, it's all just scenes, beautiful places. And so it's more of an energy that was evoked from these photographs that she said coincided with or corresponded with the meaning of like the Rider-Waite-Smith version of that particular card. Like say the Hanged Man. She felt that, you know, this bridge being lifted up or dropped was energetically, it was a fit for the Hanged Man. And so I really connect with something like that. You know, I think some people, they might connect more with images of people or animals, you know, when it, you know, as far as tarot goes, to be able to get a sort of meaning out of it. But because I created a deck that's pretty similar to this, which by the way, they work really well together, you know, I do understand, you know, energies of places, and I do see how, you know, something like this, you know, could, you know, represent the Queen of Pentacles. So I've been having a fabulous time reading with it. Actually, throughout November so far. I guess when you see this, it'll be, well, it'll be the end of November. You know, I've only worked with the Augenblick Tarot and the Augenblick Oracle for basically all of November, you know, besides my own deck that I created. So yeah, I feel like I could just take this anywhere, you know, it's in my little pouch and it just works. Because maybe this is like my style, you know, I just really connect with places. You know, I walk into a place and, you know, how we always get a feeling about certain places, but it's like I'm getting a download of information. And maybe that's just how I read. Okay, so here's one of those cards that didn't have anything on it. And so I apply a meaning to it in a tarot reading. And actually, it's the same picture as on the front of the guidebook, which is pretty cool. I love that Sun card. So obviously there's going to be more than 78 cards in this deck because of the extra cards that have been added. So that one that you just saw was one of them. I think there's at least one or two more. And actually, I don't mind this little line border around it. I think it just, you know, keeps it contained. Actually, you know, that way it's like it's more of a focus about what's going on in the center of the card. There was that other Temperance one. I decided to go with that. I just felt, energetically speaking, that was better Temperance. Oh, and this Hermit card. The Ice Cave. You imagine making a trek up that. That's definitely 10 of Wands. And feel free to pause the video at any moment if you want to spend more time on any individual card. Oh, I have 2 aces there. That's interesting. By the way, I've been working with this deck nonstop, so... Okay, this was one of those other cards. Doesn't have any words on it, but to me it means like expansion, vastness, openness. And yeah, I don't think there's anything different between that strength card and the other card. I think it was just duplicate strength cards. That's cool. If I mess up one strength card, I got another. And I love that Fool card. That's awesome. That Death card is so evocative. I love it. I think there was 2 Justice cards. I think that's the one I went with. The Devil. I love that. You have all this scaffolding amongst these giant pieces of rock. And the Star. All right. All right, so I'm just going to do a little shuffle for you guys. A lot of people like to see how they shuffle. I don't really read reversals, so it's kind of hard. You know, I try to keep them upright. I do read things in the, you know, reversed position. I just don't physically like my cards upside down. For me, it's just a visual thing. I'm just visually gotta see things upright. Okay, I'm just gonna pull, let's see, 3 cards. I'm gonna do a little brief general mini reading. Hey, if this connects to you, that's awesome, but this is just so you can see how I might read with it. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands. Interesting. And, oh, 2 cards popped out. Okay, well, those are other 2 cards then. Okay, so I'm going to put that up there, and let's take a look. We have the Ace of Wands, the 8 of Swords, and then we have Judgment. Okay, I do feel that there's a little bit more action that needs to be taken when it comes to, it looks like there's something that you really want, and this could also pertain to me as well, so I'm not just like saying, hey, you. This is for anybody, but there's something that you really want, and I'm seeing that, you know, what's mainly keeping you from that thing that you really want is this 8 of Swords, which is basically your own confinements, your own walls, your own blocks that you've created for yourself, and that you are absolutely the one that could be able to take them down. You don't need to wait for anybody else to take down those blocks. You can go get it, but it's just you've told yourself that you can't go get it for one reason or another. So with this Judgment card, it's more of a kind of an awakening I see of maybe going within a little bit and seeing, okay, what really is in the way for me starting the thing that I want to start now? You know, is what's the reason? Am I waiting for somebody to tell me I can, or some okay, or some crazy sign from the universe that says I should go ahead and do this? And if you are, then hey, this is your sign. Just go do it. Like Nike says, just do it. So yeah, I'm just seeing more of a, you know, there needs to be a realization from you that the only thing in your way is yourself when it comes to starting the thing that you want to start. So there you go. I just, you know, I have such a quick connection with these cards that I just, you know, I read with them just so well. So anyway, Wally's over here trying to grab my attention, so I might as well bring this video to a close. Let me know if you have any comments or questions on this deck. If you have this deck, let me know how you work with it. Do you work with the Augenblick Oracle? If you have it, do you pair it with anything else? Do you have my Wally's World Oracle and maybe you pair it with this? I don't know. But yeah, that's it from me, spiritual homies. If you want to catch a reading for me, head over to www.kittenswaitsandtarot.com. Let me know if you want me to use this particular deck upon booking. And if you want to throw a little love my way, join that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittenswaitsandtarot. All right, that's it for me, spiritual homies. I will catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.